Hey guys, so basically this video is entitled Oversold Stocks. We're gonna check out and run through the list of stocks that are oversold via RSI. That's what I basically use. There's some people who use stochastics on checking if the market is oversold or not, but I've been using RSI. I know I use stochastics from time to time, but primarily I use RSI because I've seen it. It's smoother. It's slower than stochastic. Stochastic is faster, though same analogy for those who've attended our stock smart sessions, that you know that the ones that are normally faster give you more false signals, and again we want to lessen our false signals. But for those who use stochastics, that also works. It's just that you will have to maybe transact more based on what's happening. So basically this is just a quick video, just me running through stocks that are oversold. Again, it doesn't change the strategy still to buy at the support. If the stock is not at the support, it's not worth coming into, regardless if it's oversold. And please remember, the buy signal for RSI will always be once it starts to cross up and it's at the level of support. So basically this is just me running through the ones that are relatively in oversold levels. So as you can see, the PSEI is pretty much oversold still. It really hasn't though it really hasn't shown us a buy up signal yet, though, because number one, the RSI still has not crossed up from where we are. So let's try to see other large cap stocks. Let's try to analyze them from an oversold level. So let's look at Aboitiz Equity Ventures. Aboitiz Equity Ventures is pretty much oversold still. As you can see, also this is what's being measured on it being an oversold level. This very fast and very steep downward projection. What you need to look at again is where is its level of support. Allow me to draw this also. That's the resistance at the 42.77 level. If you'll try to put another line here and another line here, this is how it will normally proceed. No, 31.66 as support, 36.9 as another level of support slash resistance. But AEV currently is now oversold, just no cross up yet. Allow me to clean this up first. There, about this power is also oversold. If you notice it, this entire area of it dropping, that's what this RSI is measuring also. So about this power, about this equity ventures, both of them are oversold. ABS-CBN, I'll try to clean this up again. ABS-CBN, if you look at it, boom, it just dipped again from oversold levels. If you notice the movement downward, pretty much to oversold levels is measuring this entire push as well. That's why you see this become very steep as well. So we're done with ABS, we're done with Aboitiz Power, we're done with Aboitiz Equity Ventures. Let's look at AC Energy. AC Energy, same thing, pretty much oversold still. If you measure it from here, this is what it's trying to see. But if you try to look at it and try to extend it also, this entire area from here, RSI already started to cross relatively lower at that point in time as well. So next, let's go through some other stocks that are letter A. Same thing here. Look at this. Alliance Global started to break down even further. If you look at it from this particular point in time, our size already oversold here. The trick though also pala, no, when you're talking about stocks that are oversold, you have to note that stocks that are oversold does not mean it's quickly a buy signal. Stocks that are oversold are also massively bearish. Stocks that are oversold means that there are a lot of people selling also, and it was sold at a rapidly fast time. So the only arbitrage here is that you have to really wait until the stock hits the support, and from the cross up of the RSI, that's where buy signals will start to emerge. So for Alliance Global, if you note it here, you could peg a level of support at the 7.56 level. Pero grabe, AGI has dropped massively already from over 30 pesos. This was around 2014, no, to 6 years later, it's already down almost 70+% already. It just even broke down even further. So the next support levels that I could peg will be around here. So yeah, AGI is also pretty much oversold as well. Let's look at All Home. All Home, in its very early stages, is already oversold too. Got sold down a bit. If you note it here, basag lahat eh. All of its levels where it tried to hold. What I was talking about mga at the start of the year, at the start of its IPO, was although it was trying to hold it, what it was trying to hold its level, but after this, boom, it was just a large degree of downward movement. And as you can see here, this entire measure of the downward movement is what it's trying to measure as well. So we could also say that all home pretty much as of this point in time is also oversold. Comment below if you're learning, comment if this is something that's massively helping you regardless of where you are. And really, that's the reason why I want to make videos like this. Is I just want to educate you. I forgot to introduce myself, by the way. For those who are new to this channel, my name is Marvin Germo, and I create videos like this. Not all videos are like this, by the way. Not all videos are raw. There are some videos where I interview people. There are some videos where I share my principles. There are some videos where it's heavily edited. And we have stuff like this also where it's just me and the charts, just me talking by myself. As you all know, we're all at home right now. Everyone's not leaving because of the lockdown that we're having. But yeah, our Ayala land is also pretty much oversold, also massively sold down. So Ayala land is oversold. If you look at the support and resistance levels here, you could peg another support level here at the 28 level, which it tried to hit, no, uh, which it tried to hit and started to bounce from that area. So the last time it hit that was 2016. The last time it did that again was the start of January 2016. So December and January were its lowest points for the past 4 years already. But Ayala Land is oversold. Axelum also oversold right now. So you're seeing majority of the stocks right now extending their sell downs as they've been pretty much battered, oversold, and sold down as well. Ayala Corp 2, same thing. As you can see here, it's pretty much oversold. If you guys have any other comments or requests, I'm going to try to include them for the next set of videos. Just comment them below and I'm going to try to answer them as well. So you will notice a lot of the stocks that just in letter A alone is already oversold. BPI, boom, oversold too. So you can see pretty much after the breakdown here, breakdown after successive breakdowns, it's still in its oversold levels. And please remember this, people always say when it's oversold it's worth buying. Not really. When it's oversold it's bearish, but not just that it's bearish, it's it can stay in oversold levels for quite some time. So BDO, it's been sold down, but not yet at the level that we could say that it's oversold. Bloomberg, Bloomberry, Bloomberry massively bearish, oversold also. Bloomberry's back to the 5 peso level already. Now let's look at letter C naman. Let's look at C. C stocks, Cebulan Masters just dipped into oversold levels. Cebu Pacific, I created a video about this. It's still also pretty much oversold. Cemex, wow, Cemex is dipping and moving close to the 1 peso range already. If I zoom out and show you how extended its bearishness is, this is how Cemex massively looks like, how bearish the stock is, and it's dipping below 1 peso. And even if it dips below 1 peso, it's pretty much oversold too. CNPF, let's see. CNPF bearish, also oversold. Chelsea, Chelsea oversold too, and it's been oversold for quite some time already. The CPG just dipped into oversold levels. Sirtec oversold too. CHIB, Chib, China Bank oversold also. Concepcion, whoa, Concepcion is not one of the few stocks that are above the oversold levels as well, but it's not as liquid. By the way, the thing about technical analysis, it's all about liquidity. It's all about volume. The ones that have the most volume move the fastest. The ones that have the most volume are the more reliable ones. At the end of the day, technical analysis is pretty much market psychology, past prices, but for it to have conviction, it needs to have liquidity and volume, which I think one of the issues for CIC. It really doesn't have as much volume as of this point in time. So that's how you can segment everything. No, when you start trading the markets, the limitation lang for some stocks, especially in the Philippines, is not a lot of them have a lot of liquidity, not a lot of them have a lot of volume, and for it to be super reliable, it would be I highly suggest that you look at the ones that have very strong volumes as well. DNL, pretty much battered, pretty much oversold. It's now at the 4.8 peso level. So this is what, by the way, another thing that I'd like to mention, that when markets dip, when markets drop, when fears of recession are there, when crashes are there, no one is safe. Majority of the stocks pretty much will be battered and will be hit as well. Del Monte, DELM, Del Monte Pacific is also oversold as of this point in time. What I want to highlight though are preferred shares. Look at preferred shares hold its ground. In times of uncertainty, preferred shares normally hold a candle. DMW oversold, battered down. DMC oversold, battered down. Double Dragon, it just dipped, but most likely because if you notice if you notice it, despite of it dipping, it started to hold its ground here. It started to consolidate for a few number of days here. Plus, it had a large green candle after it spiking down below. So the difference between DD compared to other stocks, it's now above from our oversold. It's now above from our oversold levels as well. So there, you notice there's a lot of stocks that are oversold, brought about by fear, panic, and that's what happens when people are scared and panic. Eagle Cement oversold, East West Bank oversold as well. EEI is oversold. Emperador, I believe, is the opposite. I've created a video on Emperador saying that Emperador is moving on a different stride as compared to what the market is doing. Emperador, if you notice it, is actually overbought. It's bullish. It's moving up. It's pushing up. It's doing something different as compared to what the other stocks in the market are doing. Euro has dropped massively already. However, it's not yet oversold as of this point in time. As you please remember, this Euro pretty much is under the context that it's just under the context that because of the coronavirus, people are speculating on it that because it's a medical related stock, that they could make money off of it. FDC oversold, FLI oversold, FGen oversold, FMETF, as you all know, follows the PSEI, also oversold, FPH oversold, Frutas oversold. Everything right now is oversold. But again, you do not buy all the stocks as long as they're oversold. You wait until there's a cross up from the RSI and it bounces from a level of support. Globe is not oversold. One of the few stocks that are not oversold. GMA oversold. Golden Haven oversold. Look at the big drop now, came from 400 to around 200 plus pesos per share. GT Cap oversold. GT Cap is back at 500 pesos already per share. Let's look at Harbor Star oversold. Holcim not yet oversold. Next is let's look at IMI, not oversold because it was already oversold for quite some time. Look at this large onslaught from 8 pesos all the way to 4. It dropped more than half already in just this period of time from February all the way here. Please remember, IMI was one of the most hit because of the trade war. Also, all of the news of the trade war is what caused it also to push down at some time a few months ago also. So fears of the trade war are out. Fears of all of the things that we were scared of in 2019 are out. We have a new set of fears for 2020. That's why Warren Buffett also said it right now. We will never run out of things to be scared of. We will never run out of things to be fearful of. There will always be a new item per year. That's why it's very very important to never trade based on your emotions, to never trade based on things that will cause you to be scared. You always trade based on your logic. You always trade based on what you know as well. IDC, Italpinas is also oversold. ISM crossed up. So there's a few stocks, very, very few microcosm of stocks that are not oversold. JG Summit oversold. It's back to the 40 peso level. Jollibee closed at 121. Also oversold. Uh, let's go with letter M. Let's see. Where do I want to go? Manila Water, oversold still. Manila Water kawawa from last year, and it really hasn't, hindi pa rin nakakabawi. Max is back to 5 pesos per share. It's dropped to 5 pesos. It's oversold already. Please do note that it's been oversold since January, but it has never stopped going down. Megawide, oversold. Mega World, oversold. It's 2 pesos already, guys. 2 pesos. MPI, not oversold. One of the few stocks that's not oversold. Also, Metro Bank oversold. Then let's continue. And now oversold. Nihao crossing up. One of the few stocks that's not oversold. Nickel Asia oversold. Uh-huh. What else can we see here? Um, Pacifica. Pacifica not oversold. PIP, Pepsi, oversold. Petron, oversold. Um, Felix Mining Corporation, oversold. Felix PXP, oversold. Uh, PBC, oversold. PBB, oversold. A lot of the stocks are pretty much oversold. No, Tel, not oversold. PNB, oversold. PNB is back to the 21 plus peso level. It's still also in a downtrend. 7-Eleven, not oversold. One of the few stocks that are not oversold. PSE, hanging on to the thread, not oversold. Finma, let's look at Phoenix Petroleum, oversold also. Shell, massively oversold. Uh, Pure Gold Price Club also oversold. As we go through all of the stocks here, as you notice it, a lot of the stocks are pretty much oversold. RFMs oversold. Robinson's Retails oversold. Robinson's Land oversold. Rockwell Land, one of the few stocks that's not oversold as of this point in time because it has already dipped. You have San Miguel is oversold. SBS, Cross Up, one of the few stocks that's not oversold. Security Bank, pretty much oversold. Semirara, oversold. Shakey's, oversold. SM, oversold. SM Prime, oversold. Uh, SGI, oversold. SPC, oversold. SSI, oversold. Star Malls, oversold. Santa Lucia, oversold. STI, oversold. Sun Life, oversold, dropped massively down to 1.4. Swift, not oversold, cross up, one of the few stocks that's not oversold as of this point in time. T, uh, Top Frontier, not oversold, but if you look at Top Frontier, guys, look at how big it has dipped from 300 plus to where it is now. It's been massively battered as well. Uh, Universal Robina, MacDian, let's try to fix it. RSI, also oversold. Uh, let's look at Wilcon, also oversold. Let's look at Surpass, pretty much oversold too. I guess that's it. So I hope you guys learned a lot. This is not, of course, the buy signals from all of it. No, you don't just buy just because it's oversold. You don't buy just because you see it in oversold levels. It has to be always number one goes back to support and resistance, and it always has to be a crossover. And you have to be very quick about it because when stocks are in a downtrend or when stocks are bearish, please remember when a stock is going down, just so you can know also, no, it it will always still have some upward progression. So what do I mean by that? Even though this is headed down, you will see this. And sometimes that's what you can take advantage of when you're buying something that's relatively oversold. You're just buying this. Or because it has dropped massively, it will hit a level of support. As it hits a level of support, you're taking advantage of just this knee-jerk reaction. It does not mean that it will break out. That's why there's a chance that it will still fall down, it will go down, and you're just taking advantage of this. You're taking advantage of the irrationality. You're taking advantage of people who sold too quick, and there will always be some people who will buy because they think it's cheap. When they buy because it's cheap, it will go up, but you have to sell, you have to take profits because the stock is predominantly bearish, and there's a chance that it could still fall and it could still reverse down. So I hope you guys got a lot from this. I hope that this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. More videos to come. Marvin Gurmo, see you all again soon, and God bless you all.